Welcome to the GRG podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also remember to follow us on Twitter at KMEGA4.
I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me now by sight. Yeah. That's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah. I vanish, I slide out landish, V12 engine, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
We're live. Oh shit! It seems like it's working.
Are we? Are we?
Yep. I think we are. I think we are.
It's like the first time this we're celebrating the anniversary by going back to the first.
Yep. It's working. I hear us. It's working.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Excellent. All right. I don't know. Maybe I've done some crazy things, and hopefully I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea. I don't have no clue.
Like I don't even know what the topics are anymore, man.
Yeah, I forgot. What are we doing? I just listen. All right, I apologize. I was late because we were supposed to be doing it in one and Dee was in here and everything, and so but she's like, I gotta get to moving. You know what I'm saying? It's the weekend. You know, she got things to do. And the one dude that was over here that suggested this ain't nowhere to be found. So you know what I'm saying. So 108 Dragons. You know what I'm saying. You get the middle finger. So yes, I'm going to definitely give it to him when he does his podcast this evening. I'm going to go ahead and just well, I can't. You don't have those type of emojis, but I'm going to try to give him a nasty emoji.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you do? Oh yeah, I'm going to give it to him.
I think so.
Yeah. So anyway,
I might censor that.
No. There ain't no be no censors. I'll find a workaround. Anyway, so what's up, everybody? Yeah, sorry for last night. I got a lot of things I need to try to work and try to once we're done with these topics and what's going on with you, new type? He says, Tempest. Oh, Tempest, what's happening with you? Just showing some love. Looking forward to the show, man. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, we're continuing from last night. I was having some kind of technical issues. So we didn't finish our last three topics, and so it was nutty. But we said that we was going to finish it today, so that's what we're going to do. And then we had it where we was going to be doing this about an hour and a half ago, and a little thing called the Halo technical preview or whatever the hell it is.
Rub it in.
Oh man, the Halo. Hold on, let me look at it on my Xbox. Come on, bot, you need to go check and see it. The Halo. No, it says the Halo Infinite Insider. Okay, that's what it says on my Xbox or on my PC. That's what it says right there. I played this shit until 6 a.m. I don't know, man. Listen, it was
You played
me.
it till 6 a.m. I don't think anybody needs to say any more than that. If you sat there and you played it till the sun was up,
The sun was out. I said,
Son,
what the hell?
what do you gotta say?
Me, one bad mother, the Don, and then the blue, man, this is how long we played. Because the blue came in and he was like, oh, what's up, man? He says, man, I'm finna make a run. I gotta go hit me up some Whataburger. And so then we was talking about, you know, what was gonna be his food of choice at the Great Whataburger. And he was saying he was going to get, because, you know, I like the patty melt out there. And so he was saying he was going to get the chicken strip with the honey mustard chicken strip sandwich, which is a good choice. Which is a good choice. Yeah. It's a good choice. Good choice. Oof. And so, but anyway, so then he left. We were still playing. He came after he ate, relaxed, texted. He said, y'all still on? I said, yeah, man, we can't stop, won't stop. And then Don finally gave it up about almost 4 o'clock. But then me and one bad mother just stayed on, and we was like, this is a problem. This is a damn beta. We're going to be on this game. Like, taking the week off. There's no way in hell that if I'm playing this game this much, that I won't be going bananas. Like, listen, just give me Xbox. Give me one of those mini fridges. I'll try to find a workaround, cut a hole in the wall so I can just go straight through, so I can use the bathroom, come back, and then I'm gaming. That's it. I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, you know what that reminds me of? And it's what I said to you earlier.
Yeah.
The Call of Duty 4 demo with those 3 maps that everybody and their mama played to death. It was a full-on paid game.
Well,
we all played those 3 maps.
Okay, well, hold on. Now, okay, Halo. I was gonna say Halo. Modern Warfare 4 wasn't the one because I wasn't online at that time. It was Modern Warfare 2 that was the problem. Now I had gold or whatever, but I didn't utilize playing multiplayer games like that. I kind of shunned away from it. I didn't really start getting into the multiplayer aspect of things until the Modern Warfare 2 days. That's when but yeah, I no-lifed it once I got once I start playing it. Yeah, so but yeah, but Bot, what's going on, man? Are you full? You relieved? You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good. Actually, I'm not full. I feel emptied out, man. I feel lightweight, agile, yes. and that's a good thing because I'm playing Cyberpunk and I am a hoarder in that game. I pick up absolutely everything from the enemies I drop and stuff like that.
As you should.
And it gets heavy and you start walking slow. Pretty soon you can't run, shit like that. You have everything like on you. But guys, I gotta say, the deeper I get into Cyberpunk, this game is absolute fire.
Now you understand why I was saying that I thought that it was my 2020 game of the year?
The storylines, how fleshed out the characters are, their personalities, how different they are, even if they're in the same like groups, like the Voodoo Boys and stuff like that. Yeah, their personalities are way different from one person to the other. The side missions, they're super detailed in what they're doing, even when you go off to the side. Like, and there is so much to do. Somebody tried to tell me like the game was boring and it's a walking simulator. I'm like, really? Because every time I turn the corner, like there is like some cyber psycho or there's somebody shooting at me, and there's something to go and either sneak in and get or go in guns blazing and grab like new items and stuff like that. The game is bananas, man. Absolutely bananas.
Yeah, it's nuts. It is nuts. But yeah, no, I loved the hell out of Cyberpunk. It just because of there was no question in my mind that it was for some people it's a three-headed race, because I mean The Last of Us 2 was really, really good for what it was, but I've never been into that story like that.
Was Last of Us 2 a golfing simulator? My bad.
Yeah, disrespectful.
I'm not used to being live at this time of day.
I know. Right? I see the messy bot comes out. The slander is already. But anyway, it's pretty crazy to me because it's like The Last of Us 2 was good. It was great. It deserved to be nominated, no doubt about it. But I did think that Ghost of Tsushima was the better game. So to me, it was a two-headed. It was a two-headed race. It was Cyberpunk and it was Ghost of Tsushima or Tsushima. Sorry.
I'm used to the way you pronounce it, man.
I know. There'll be somebody in the chat, or there'll be somebody that'll be in the comment section. They'll spell it out for me. But yeah, Tsushima.
It doesn't even irk me in the back of my mind, and I'm the kind of person who's usually
let me be country.
I don't even feel it, bro.
Let me be country, guys. Just let me be country. Come on, man. I'm an Oklahoman. We some people I know that say is pick 'em up instead of say pick up, and library instead of say library. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, just let us be country. You know, that's something. Look, it's no different than somebody saying potato or potato. Okay, hold on. Or somebody that says pecan or pecan. Like anybody who says pecan should be sent, should be exported. Should be sent away.
Should be flogged.
Yeah. Okay, flogged is better. Flogged is better. Yeah. With rocks. Anyway, all right. So
wow.
Pecan. Who the hell says pecan? But anyway, but no.
I think we're talking about stoning right now. This is I never thought it'd come to this, man.
Yeah, it's begun. It has begun. Saturday morning Saturday afternoon slander. Anyway, so I guess we should get into it. But I was just going to finish my last point, was just saying, look, man, Cyberpunk story was so good, but it was so broken on the older consoles. People just didn't get that opportunity to play it. So that's why you have to, that was CD Projekt Red.
That's where I give them a pass, because it came out as an Xbox One PS4 game. So anybody complaining about how it ran on those systems, their gripes, their complaints were absolutely justified. I'm playing it on the Series S right now, and there's still a couple glitches, little bugs here and there, but there's nothing that like brings you completely out of the game. There's nothing that's like, you know what, I'm done with this. Like, it might be a car like kind of popping around every once in a while, like looking like it's got the hydraulic system in it. Nothing insane though. You know what I'm saying? And the story outweighs any of those small glitches and stuff like that it has now on this system. So
no doubt. And what's going on, man? I see Bunny. I see Lady Foxfire. What's happening with you? I know it said
no Elite.
Yeah,
Lady.
I see Mizzle up in here. He was saying what Mizzle said, he was playing Halo Infinite for until early in the wee mornings. Yeah, man. Like I said, go check your insiders, man.
Man, ain't nothing.
What about the Waypoint? Did you go check the Waypoint?
I'll check the Waypoint while I'm talking to you.
Go do that right now. And then we'll get started.
I want this, man.
I know.
You know.
Yeah. It's you need it. You need it in your life. But there's one, I think there's definitely a positive.
Nothing.
Man.
Nothing. I got snubbed, people. I got snubbed.
Ooh. But you know what? The one
other
positive.
People that don't even invest in Halo got in. Yo, there are people that don't even really invest in the Xbox that they own because they're too busy on social media talking about how it ain't got games, and they're in that. But it's okay.
Oh, they claim they did, for spite. I don't know if I believe them.
That is, and you know what's funny to me is that I see them trying to make fun of shit, like because I seen one before we started the show, and I seen their armor, and if you played. To get that armor, you had to get to a certain level, and I'm like, okay, so you over here trying to clown, but you've been playing the hell out of it too, because you're like you're a level 5 or 6. So I get it. It's Halo is got you. Now, of course, I have seen some silly ass takes. Oh man, this blows away Halo 5. It's so much better. It plays like Halo 5 without the abilities. Good grief!
They just have to get their little
the ground pound.
Yeah, without the super abilities, without the ground pound, and without the
of course,
the
they
boost.
had to put their little shade in there.
And there's
they want to talk great about Halo Infinite, but still put their shots against Halo 5.
Right. And then and then there's some factors, there's some other things too about Halo that we talked about it yesterday, but for the people who haven't listened to us last night, the one things that are really, really good that I did find annoying in Halo 5 was your health meter wouldn't go up if you ran. You had to not run.
Right.
So that was
the balance.
That was the balance because of the fact that was the reason for the abilities and things like that. So you could try to avoid. But with this, it's just kind of a smooth transition, and it's a constant fun. It's no downplay. And the one thing I think about it where I see a lot of people that has a problem with Halo 5 is because it is more pro style than what a lot of people are used to. And what they did with this is they still kept it in the pro style, because guarantee you, if you start playing now, because they upgraded, and I seen that I just got another update, but last night to this morning, you was playing the ODSTs, and once you got into that second level, because they're now opened up that second map, and those ODSTs in there ain't no joke. They will play you, and they actually keep evolving and keep learning and keep doing different things. It's crazy how yeah. I
wonder if because this whole thing is AI. I'm wondering if they're using either some type of machine learning or cloud AI that needs to come out and see more random people, so this way it can learn its maneuvers.
That
and
is
stuff.
exactly what that's exactly what we were talking about last night or this morning. And also I after GRG I streamed it while I was playing, and then that's what we were discussing, was that because it and I know PK was saying that there was some, and I'm not doubting that at all, because PK said last night that there was some devs that must have came in and played as well, and there could have been, but I seen because when he said that there was that they gave him the the little, what is that, the little taunt where they squat on you, what is that called?
Teabagging.
Yeah, the teabag. I said, oh, really? And sure enough, I seen it twice last night or this morning. I seen it twice.
Yeah, but that's a simple thing for a boss to do. It's really just crouching over,
right,
over on top of your enemy. Especially if they're gonna take especially if they're taking your weapon from you after they kill you.
Right, and
just
that's
slapping them with your coin purse, man.
Right, and what was also crazy was that there was one time, and it wasn't doing that before, but towards the end, like on the other map, you can get the battle hammer, and then you jump in there and nobody's there in that sector. No, there was a couple of them that was sitting waiting for you to get the hammer. Then they killed you, and then they jumped over it, and then they took the hammer. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because they weren't doing that. And then there was some kinds, like on this map right here that you see that I was playing on, that they always go to the left. And so, everybody kind of rushes and try to find angles to go kill them because they always go to the left. Now, sometimes they still do it, but there were some times that they spread it out and went a whole nother direction. And then, and so, of course, I do believe that this is kind of like, like the driver tars, but I guess we'll just call them shooter tars, that Xbox is going to be implementing with these bots. And when I see that there was another update, if they're going to introduce the Spartans, Lord have mercy, get ready, because it's going to.
The names that they have, you could tell it's like implying, the personality that the bot is going to have.
What up, Jazzy? Yeah, no, and that's, to me, is what's going to be insane, right? Because I mean, the name they got a name called a bot called Mjolnir. That son of a bitch is mean. And then there's there's one called Locke, which I thought was really cool. Then there was one that's called Rhinosaurus. So those names were synonymous in my brain, because those were kicking my ass a couple of times, especially that Mjolnir. That Mjolnir was a problem. I was like, what is going on?
It seems like we're gonna start to talk about these bots like they're real players that we come up against often enough.
Yeah.
Like, once they got their their AI in that machine learning, they face enough people and they've leveled up in their personalities or play style, let's say, right, is different than and between each other. And then eventually if they start to add personality, like certain bots will teabag your body when they kill you and take your weapon, but maybe not Mjolnir because he's such a savage and will just blast you and keep it moving, and that might not be his style. It depends on what they do with these bots, but I totally could see that happening. And it definitely, these bots are running on the server side because you have it running on the clients, to give more possibilities for cheating.
Yeah,
that has to be server side.
Yeah, no doubt. And then like there was, the later we got, the more it started having some lag issues, and so then I said, okay, you know what, this is telling me I got to get out of here. I got to be done. The sun is out. But yeah, no, and so after I get done with this, I will, I'm going to take me a shower, and then I'm going to fix me a bowl of cereal, and then I'm going to get back on it. That's just, I told my wife.
Afternoon cereal, bro.
Yeah, and I told my wife, I said, look, I'm going to be all into this. I said, is this the Ascent Flight Simulator? I said, it's just too much this weekend. She's like, all right, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends, going to go swimming. I said, go ahead, enjoy yourself. And so, she woke me up and told me, hey, you told me that you had the podcast to do, so you better get up. I'm like, all right, sure. And then next thing you know, I was out. And then I woke up at that. I feel like a teenager because I woke up at 12:30. Oh my God. So it was awful, but well, not awful. It's the game in life, man. But anyway, all right, let's get to
you and my 18-year-old son woke up at about the same time. I just got hit by another.
What time did your old ass go to bed, Bot?
It was like 3:30, almost 4. Dude, with me, I was in a party.
Yes, Generations.
I was in a party with Cerebral Paul, Darth Praxis, 108 Dragons, Animated Evil, and 3/4 of the people I was in a party with were drunk and we're playing golf. So
that's too much.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Yo, shout out to those guys. And Cerebral Paul, I want to say he cheats because he won.
What?
And that's all I gotta say about that.
That's great.
You using that putt preview too much, man. That's what it is, Paul.
Oh man, let that man live. Anyway, all right. All right. So yes, sir. Generations. Yeah, Generations. This is the not so much the replacement, but the continuance, because what I'm finna try to do is combine both shows, and then like kind of make it into one big show, and then of course I got all these other I got like 3 dev in the gamers, and then I got to put 2 GRGs together to then put them on Spotify and all that other stuff. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I need to be doing this weekend.
He will do all that once they stop the flight for Halo Infinite. Don't.
Oh no! I probably will. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do, but it probably, if anything, it'll probably be done Sunday morning. If not, it'll definitely be up Monday, because after fight night, then I don't do anything. I really even don't even play games on Monday, because when we do fight night and then I'm up and then like my back issues and shit like that, I'm like, oh my God, no, I gotta just chill. So.
Oh hell no!
Yeah, no, my back is like, oh hell no. Okay.
Yep, that's the one. I can't sing.
Yeah, you guys never made me miss the soundboard more than what you just did.
I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. Once I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna get that fixed.
I'd rather hear soundboard.
All right. So let's get to the topics. We went 30 damn minutes talking about nonsense. Anyway, so let's go to topic 3, since we was on topic. So yeah, damn, we was on just 2 topics, an hour and a half. But that's how we do. All right. Straight to it. I want to go to the PS5 thing. No. Let's go straight to it right now. The PlayStation 5 SSD is a crazy situation. Is PlayStation fans becoming beta testers for adding to these SSDs to their console. So I'm going to go straight to you on this, because since you are our guest, Bot.
I
What?
knew it. I knew it was coming here.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew it
well,
was coming
yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is just the three of us, so it's, you know what I'm saying, it's more intimate today, so we could just, we can all just kind of jump in, uh, but I'm going to go to you first, man. What is your initial thoughts about this, man? You seen that we seen this all yesterday, that they gave out the information and what you could do with it. I seen I talked to well, I
Hold
didn't
on,
talk
who
to
gave out the information?
well, Sony gave out the information,
They didn't give out the information they were supposed to give out, though, bro. That's the
Right, right. And so the media was out there helping, which is fine, that's what they're
thing.
supposed to
IGN,
do.
Digital Foundry, coming
Yeah,
up with lists
yeah,
like, yeah,
As
like,
they do. As they do.
Well, first off, like, we're in a world where people are comparing Xbox and PlayStation. You got this whole BS console war thing, and people are constantly pointing their fingers in the other direction. For a consumer that goes in and they're looking at these consoles and they're looking at it for like family machines, stuff like that. I gotta say, what Sony did with the PlayStation in terms of how do you expand memory and stuff like that is not really consumer friendly for the wide range of people that would play games. All right, let's be real here. Like, taking off the side panel and then popping this off and having to screw in an SSD, all that good stuff. That's a big pain in the ass. If somebody is buying this and like they need to put a whole bunch of games like on the system. Don't want to deal with trading off between external back to the system in terms of switching your games back and forth or whatnot. It's a pain in the ass, especially for people who aren't kind of like PC savvy, who don't really know. Like it's gonna be an issue. But with that being said, the design first and foremost, I don't like the design of how they did this. I really like what Xbox did. I know people complained about the proprietary storage expansion, but if you look at it, it's about $217, $220, depending on taxes where you live, and it comes with a heatsink already in the expansion card, already in the SSD. Works with the Velocity architecture. It's going to work. You just slide it in, and you're good to go. I like that. You know me, I'm a console gamer. Ease the use is definitely a feature for me because I play on console. As far as how they're doing this, I don't understand why they're beta testing, quote unquote beta testing, and having the PlayStation gamers decide whether or not they're going to get into this. First off, if they do decide they're going to get into this, they get into the beta or whatnot. Sony already put out a disclaimer that they are not responsible for the PlayStation 5 if anything happens. Like, these consoles are already rare, right? You want some type of security that if you are going to test this for them, which they should be doing because they said it in their kind of like deep dive tech thing with Mark Cerny and stuff like that. They said they were testing the SSDs and they will let people know what SSDs would work in the PS5. It doesn't seem to be that way. You got IGN making lists, you got Digital Foundry making lists. And I'm like, well, where is Sony's list of the SSDs that are supposedly, able to work with the PS5? They're nowhere to be found. But you have no guarantee if you do go in, and you have no security that if something happens and by using this SSD, it screws up your console. You have no guarantee. There's no way to get another console. You're going to have to deal with either your retailer's warranty and when they get systems in or something like that. So that right there, this is asinine in how they are doing this with kind of like the way this generation is going so far. The scarcity of these consoles and stuff. But if you do decide to do that, Sony doesn't even have a list for you on what SSDs you should get. So in other words, they're telling the Sony gamer who wants to help out and get things up and running, it's like, you know what? We're not responsible for your system, but we would like for you to go out and grab high-end SSDs that have a heatsink involved. Because I think that's another thing, like these SSDs have to have a heatsink either already attached or you have to put one on them.
That's right.
for the overheating issues and stuff like that. So they have to have a heat sink. So go and buy high-end SSDs. Get a few of them, test them out, and if they break your system, you know what? We're not responsible. Thank you. But thank you for the data that you've collected for us. This is bullshit, bro. This is absolute bullshit, and I cannot believe that there are people out there on social media trying to defend this with well, it must be like they don't know how to use a screwdriver. It's like that's not what it is at all. Why are you damage controlling right now? But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I'll definitely be making my points about it, but I got to go to you, Slayer. I know that you're going to break down the technological side of it because, I mean, listen, I have to give you your props. I got to give you 108. I got to give PK y'all's props because we talked about this last year before the console came out. But once we started finding out about the specs, you guys were all over about that SSD. And when I went over to King Thrash podcast, I brought that same stuff up, and I got called stupid. I got called out not by King Thrash himself, but I forgot what that one dude's name was. He was so angry that he couldn't allow.
The hell with all of those clowns.
Yeah. But I was like, well, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. But I'm just saying, but what
I just got hit by a car again.
Oh my goodness! But once you make that point, is that listen? This is something that should be concerned, especially if they're not going to have these SSDs available. That was one of the questions that I brought up, and then on top of that was like, look, you guys keep bringing up the fact that these SSDs is going to make the PlayStation 5 more powerful than the Series X, and I've never heard of any speed. Like I got an SSD in my PC that I built, and it's fast as hell, but it's not giving me any type of extra oomph to where I can say I'm dealing with somebody who has a 1080 Ti. You know what I'm saying? So how is it that for this type of technology with the SSD, which is about speed, and give better performance on certain things, how is it that it's going to enhance anything that has to do with power? And those guys, just they thought I was crazy as hell for me even asking those type of questions. But again, you guys were right. And there's a lot of guys out there that's been capping for this are completely wrong, and I think in a whole other just a stratosphere trying to make all different types of excuses. But go ahead, Slayer. It's an absolute mess. But Slayer, go ahead and let these people know what you think about this situation.
Okay, so some people like to say, I told you so, and then be all that type of way, right? I'm not that
Poppy collar.
I'm not that type of person per se. Like to be gloating about. I'm not trying to be an asshole to nobody. I'm just not. But yo, I told you so. I told you, KMEGA, in particular, early on. You were like, nah, it's not going to be that high. I'm like, bro, no.
Right. I was always talking about, no, there's no way that these things are going to cost that much. $200+? No way. Sure enough, boom. I caught myself buying one. I said, God damn it, these fools was right. Yeah.
Yep. And now, if you dig in the nitty-gritty details, in particular, the drive that they have within the Xbox that's on the motherboard, it's not soldered on. It's just so if you've been following the drama with the Steam Deck, that it's a certain size SSD. The shorter ones, SSDs are certain lengths, right? And the one in the Steam Deck, one of the 3 known drives that they've been using in the Xbox Series X and S, is a Dell drive that that's up for sale. Actually, it's from Western Digital, and I found it on the Dell website to purchase, right? And this is one of the 3 drives that's known to be in the Xbox Series X and S, right? That's just a typical drive that's in the connector, and also in these SSD expansions that you can get for the Xbox. It's really just one of those drives in a compact flash fast adapter with the heatsink on and the thermal paste or whatever, so it's hot swappable, right? That's all it really is. So this is a known quantity. This tech is excuse me.
Oh damn! I thought you was falling out.
Is not wow. Yeah, it still hit me a little bit, but this tech is not cheap, and a lot of people didn't understand or want to believe, and I can understand that you did not expect for console technology to be this expensive, but that's what it has to be for us to enjoy what we enjoy now with these incredible fast load times, the fast response you see on the dashboard, particularly on the Xbox. I know for a fact, and what I've seen of the PS5 and what I've tried on the PS5 with the few times that I've been able to experience one, but and on my Series X, I know for a fact those menus fast. There is no lag in anything. If you play it on the 360 or even on the Xbox One, you know how it is when you were trying to invite somebody into a game, and is that that hiccup, that pause for a second, and where it stutters and it's always fast as you can press this button, right? It's there for you, and that's what that drive was always supposed to be about. But that costs, and particularly the tech that's in the in the PlayStation is PCI X4. That's even more current, more recent, and that produces heat, and so you need a heat sink. And the one thing, or the two things I can say is a positive for Sony in their approach was that these were standard drives. As long as they met the speed spec, they should be fine. And now we're seeing that, the same drives that people were surmising would be compatible, the Samsung 980 Pro, the Sabrent, all those drives are turning out to be the ones that are going to fit the bill because of what they told us prior. But what they also told us prior was they were going to do the testing to let us know there was going to be a stamp of certification. And they ain't do none of that.
Right.
This is a beta test, and you're the crash test dummy who's testing it for them. Why they're not doing it, I don't know. But I guess they want to crowdsource this instead. I don't get it. And yet and still, you read the fine print, not every game is guaranteed to work. And that's not because they have found a game X or Y that doesn't work. But you know what? They're protecting themselves by putting that in the fine print from now, because they don't know what's going on. Instead of them building a drive or working with drive manufacturers to say, hey, make a drive to our spec, we'll put our logo on it or whatever, like they did with Seagate, right? With the Xbox drive, and and Western Digital and what have you are supposed to have other, and the other manufacturers are supposed to come online with their own drives as well, right? So far it's Seagate only, right? Or is that Western Digital? I forget who makes that drive. I believe it's Seagate for the Xbox, right?
Yes.
So, Seagate. Yeah, Seagate. Yeah.
Okay, it is Seagate. Okay, thanks, because I wasn't really sure.
I didn't know if you were asking or not. That's why I didn't.
Right, me too. Until you just
The funny thing is Seagate is also the first one to come out and say that their SSDs work with the PS5 as well.
Seagate is the oldest of these hard drive manufacturers that I've named thus far. So they've been there longer than either one of us. Yeah, they've been out there. So they've been in this hard drive game from the beginning. That's what they do. So it's not surprising to see that the first drive that's advertised to be compatible was a Seagate drive, and indeed, that's the drive manufacturer who's got the drives for the Xbox as well. But it just goes to show, Sony was supposed to do this legwork, but now they're making you do it. You're the crash test dummy. Like, every aspect of this PlayStation 5, from the first day when you people were able to hear my voice when I was on with Xbox and KMEGA and Lemon, and we did a podcast after, or actually during the reveal of the PS5 specs, and then we did one afterwards. I think that was on Xbox show, and then the first one was with KMEGA. From my first appearance, when you guys first heard what I had to say on these things, I had issues with what PlayStation 5 was bringing to bear. It seemed like they panicked over what they saw Microsoft had, and so they wanted to overclock it, but they didn't redesign their cooling or anything. This is why I believe what Bloomberg said about half the chips not working even before the PS5 came out. But TSMC, the manufacturer of the SoC chips for both the Xbox and the PlayStation, their process is high quality. Their I forget the term, but the rate or the percentage of drives that you get, or the percentage of chips that you get from their process is above 90-something%. So the chips that they got for the PS5 were made to spec. They were made to run at the original spec that they gave them when they first were producing them, and that's that 9.2 teraflops. And so when they tried to overclock it, a lot of these chips can't run at the overclock speeds because they were never designed for that. And they didn't adjust the cooling to try to, adapt for that. And that's why I think this SSD solution was extra bad, because that slot is so small. There's no room to breathe. The one thing I do disagree with what Xbot was saying there at the beginning about the panel and all that. Like, I agree, and yet I disagree that it's hard, but they could have made it easier. Like, if you look at the bottom of the Super Nintendo, it had that that panel that they were supposed to attach that CD drive to, right? It gets a little panel, you just flip the thing, and boom, you see the connector. The PS5 should have had that same thing to get to the SSD slot. So yeah, you need a screwdriver to get to the to screw it down. But you know what? They could have made that simple too by making it like a thumb screw, or even what modern motherboards and PCs are doing, where there's little notch that you flip over and it keeps the drive in place. So that way you would have needed no screwdriver, no tool, no nothing. You get the drive, you open the panel, you put it in, you flip down the thing, or maybe it's a thumb screw, you screw it in. You screw it in by hand, you don't even need a screwdriver. You put the panel back on and you're done. That's simple design. If Nintendo had that ready back in 1990 for the Super Nintendo, and they never even used that, connector. And it's ironic that Sony was going to be the one who was supposed to make that CD drive, But yeah, why couldn't they do that with the PS5? There are so many ways.
I think your PC side is showing. The reason why I said that is it wouldn't be an issue for me. I know it wouldn't be an issue for
but for regular people, it's complicated.
Especially since, if you look at the majority of games that are played on the PlayStation platform, they are the Call of Duties, the NBA 2Ks, the Madden, stuff like that. And, when somebody gets the new console for the new bells and whistles and stuff like that, and then they find out, they want an easy way to expand their memory. And to that group of people, what PlayStation has brought out there is not an easy way to expand your memory. That's what I was saying. I'm not saying people don't know how to use a screwdriver. I'm saying,
but they could have made it simple. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. They could have made it a lot easier, even in the method that they did, compared to the Xbox method, where you just plug it in and you're done. Right?
Yeah,
that's the easiest
all
thing.
I had to do, man. There's a spot right there. I just slid it in, it clicked, and that's it. There's a heat sink in there. I don't have to add anything to it. It just works, bro. Works.
Right. And yeah, the PlayStation would have been slightly more complicated in the way I just explained if they had the thing you put in the thumb screw. And it's slightly more complicated, but I think people, even average people, could have worked that out. Now there would have been a large percentage.
But this
still been like, I'm not going to try it. It's too complicated, and that's why what Microsoft did was the right thing.
But that's what some of the PlayStation fans that caps for this are trying to make this point about it by saying, well, it's. People try to act like, oh, you can't grab a screw. People are so lazy, and Xbox are so lazy. They don't want to get a screwdriver and just unscrew something. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's the same people that will go and they'll pay for whatever item that they get. Like, let's say they get a desk. There's going to be some people that's just going to buy it and they're going to put it together because they like to tinker. But then there's going to be other people that's going to go ahead and say, no, I'll pay for that extra 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks.
To get it built. Yeah.
To get it built, and to build it, and I don't have to worry about it. The majority of people.
That was the other thing,
right?
And that was the other thing. The PlayStation people were trying to say was that the Xbox solution was going to be more expensive, but ironically, the PlayStation solution is more expensive.
Oh, say that again one more time, brother.
The PlayStation solution is more expensive, even though they claimed it was going to be easier.
Yes.
Do you remember that they were saying, "Oh, it's proprietary. That's why it's so much money." Oh,
exactly.
When PlayStation does their solution, it's going to be so much cheaper. Now, I will say, because we talk common sense, and we're even keel with this. Now, the one thing that PlayStation does have going for it is because these SSDs are so incredibly linked into the PC space as well. As time goes by, there is a better chance for the price to drop as the technology becomes the standard between PC and the PlayStation 5. It does have there is a better chance for the price to drop quicker. But that's the only thing that they have going for them right now. And I feel the way that Xbox has been dealing with their consumers, you see what they're doing with Game Pass in terms of people playing games. People are paying $10 a month, $15 a month, getting all these incredible games. I don't think that they would let something like the storage expansion go so long without dropping the price at some point in time. Plus they got other companies that are going to come out with their proprietary solution with the Series X and the Series S as well. And when they do that, then there's going to be competition, and then you're going to see the price get lower.
Yeah, and there's sales on Newegg the other day, 2 days ago, Wario64. If you follow him on Twitter, that's the guy for deals and stuff. And he's always posting deals. Newegg had a deal where some code, you get it for like less than $180. $180. Right? So a lot of people are snapping those up, and the UK, they've had deals in the UK for that drive as well. So economy of scale is already benefiting the Xbox platform when it comes to these drives, even though these SSDs are going to be plentiful, and there'll be many of them from many manufacturers that follow the spec and whatever, because it's a standard PC part, and that's what Sony tried to present to us and tried to claim that it would work out, but it's not gonna work out because it's too complicated. It's too complicated for your average Joe.
Right.
You're right about that. Okay. You know what's funny about this real quick? My bad, KMEGA.
No,
I'm just going to throw this out there because I was on Crossfire last night before I jumped into GRG. And, people are hitting me up about being on Crossfire. Like every week I have different DMs. Like, why are you still on that show? And stuff like that. But even Crap Gamer started to admit that there's all these like little things stacking up against Sony right now. And he even came out and said that, PlayStation, because I think we're going to talk about the whole Horizon Forbidden West supposed delay and stuff like that.
Right.
He even said that if PlayStation doesn't have one of those big titles for the holidays, like he even started getting in on like there's been like just good news for Xbox, and it seems like on Sony's side they've just been piling up like bits of negative information that are starting to like weigh more and more on PlayStation. He even had to admit that yesterday. So shit is going crazy when my brother Kraft is actually saying that stuff, man.
Yeah, well, that was definitely a talking point I was going to bring up earlier.
That's That's the point of the matter is this. It's not about people being lazy. It's about convenience.
Yes.
When people buy a console, they think convenience.
That is the console market. That's
right. That's what consoles is all about, right? Simplicity. When you buy a PC, you know what you get. Like, and it's something that I've also said a million times in the past about, like, there's a difference between PC gaming and console gaming. When people go and when people see a PC coming out of a Best Buy, people don't know if that's just a work PC or if that's going to be a gaming PC or whatever. Nobody knows, because a lot of people just buy parts and build their PCs. But when you go and you see somebody with a Nintendo, with a Switch, with a PlayStation, with an Xbox, whatever, they know that that's a console, that's a gaming machine, and those things are all about convenience, the plug and play aspect of everything. That's what it's always about. So for Sony to actually to have one of the first companies to make the memory card for the PlayStation 2, to go in to make this type of strategy, they lowballed this console. They cut so many corners. People got to stop capping for this shit. They just cut so many corners, and then they're going to try to make. And then what makes it sad is that they know that they cut the corners, and they're going to exploit people who are going to try to cut corners themselves, because I see it already with people already trying to find cheaper solutions. I sit there and I posted something asking, like, when somebody was putting in this SSD and then they added a heat sink and they was saying it was some kind of CUDA something or whatever. I don't
Barracuda. I think it was that Seagate.
Yeah, it was the Seagate or whatever. And so I asked, was it going to work? And so this guy came up, of course it's going to work. You know, he got snazzy with me because I was asking a legitimate question. And I go and look and check who this person was, and he was a senior staff writer for Digital Foundry and for Eurogamer. I'm like, what the hell? So you're telling me, instead of doing your job and trying to find and trying to say, hey, look, Sony, why are you not having this situation more versed and more?
Why didn't you give the information that you promised with Mark?
Right. Why are you not doing your job and getting on Sony's ass about why they didn't do what they said that they were going to do, but instead you're trying to find a solution to the problem that Sony provided to the customers? That's not journalism. What the hell?
Yeah,
but I was like, what? Yeah.
I want to ask if this name is the same person who wrote the article that they have on Eurogamer, where the headline was straight shade. I forget exactly what the headline was, but it's like, this is not how it's supposed to be done, or something. I should look that up. But the headline was straight shade against Sony in the headline in and of itself. Right. But it just goes to show there's certain people who believe certain ways at whatever news outlet. If it's Digital Foundry, for example, you know, is always a big name with, you look at John Linneman, we know where that guy's heart lies. He has technical knowledge like the rest of them do, because, you know, that's what they do at Digital Foundry.
But we see, you got to pick up some knowledge at your job.
Right. He's got this knowledge, obviously, and he displays it all the time, but we also see he displays his biases and then acts like the victim, and it just goes to show what KMEGA is talking about. He asks a straight question: is it gonna work? And he's like, of course it's good. And then he looks in this is a guy from Eurogamer. Like, what's up with this?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, when you showed me the picture, the question I had was, it kind of looks like that heatsink makes it where it's just big enough where that little panel that goes over it, not the big panel on the side of the PS5, but the little one for the slot itself, it's too big for that panel to be put back on, or just small enough for it to.
But I saw one with a diesel heatsink on it. You could not only could you not put the door back on, but you couldn't put that white panel back on either. So you have to like have it. Like, it was a diesel heatsink. Now, granted, that would definitely, you won't have to think about overheating. But you got that whole side exposed now. You know what I'm saying? Like that is just it's not good, man. It's just not good.
That whole bay was too small, and everybody was calling that out from the beginning, because it's large enough for a bare drive. But what if you want a heat sink and
need one?
You know, and we need one, but the technical minded of us who will follow in this tech knows that those drives run hotter than the previous gen. They need the heat sink. You're not going to find any of these drives without the heat sink that people say is safe to use without the heat sink. Not only that, but with these SSDs now, like, granted, I'm not as knowledge as you are when it comes to tech, but you know me, I dip in, I dabble,
I've read that when it comes to SSDs, the hotter that they run, the quicker they depreciate.
They burn out. Right. That's what PK was bringing up. Yeah.
A lot of heat. Yep. And in fact, he says, I forget the technical reason why. He told me, but I forget, except, see, it's not always about the detail. It's about the result. Don't get the Samsung 980 Pro. If you use it for PS5, PC, whatever, there's something wrong with that drive that he and I are both against that drive in particular. So if you're a PS5 person and you're looking for an SSD, that's one of the ones not to get. The Western Digital 850 that he ended up buying for himself, the model with the heatsink for 1 terabyte is $250 compared to the Seagate that's $270 or so, I think. And that drive is known. They announced this morning, I believe, that that Western Digital is saying it will work with the PS5. It's got the heatsink, and if they're saying it's going to work with the PS5, apparently, what they were waiting on was to see if it would fit properly with the panel, and the white, whatever you call that on the PS5 that goes on top of it as well. It should fit. It should work. But yet and still, there will be certain games, and this is also said in the fine print, that aren't going to work. That may not work, right? And how can they know? They don't know, because it can happen in the future. They don't know. There's no guarantees to anything, because it wasn't made specifically for the PS5. It's just a drive. It was made for PCs, but anything that could support those drives. And the PS5 supports those drives, so it could work. But what Xbox did in comparison was, those drives are made for the Xbox. They're not made for anything else. There's no question what to do with them. They're simple to use, and they're hot swappable. I can take my drive out of my system, hop on a plane. I'm over there in Oklahoma, and I pop it into KMEGA's Series X, and all my games are there, and it pops up instantly. If you're already in that games and apps menu, it propagates with all the games and apps or whatever it is on that drive in 2 seconds. They showed it before the Xbox even came out. That was, to me, and hey, this is the transparency that Microsoft always has. For good or for ill, they always told you what they were doing, how they were doing it, and how it's going to work. Sony, anytime they even reveal anything, it just leaves you with more questions. It leaves you with more questions than answers. And this was the capper for me. The entire PS5, and I'm saying this now, the entire PS5 situation is just an utter fail in all aspects. The system, the lack of games. And they were talking about the Xbox had a lack of games. This has a lack of games. This whole PS5 situation is not slander. This is all verified by the facts. Back up what I'm saying. I don't mean this as crap. From the first day when you asked me what I thought about the PS5, and I said I still wanted one, and you expected slander out of my mouth, I'm like, no, I still want one because I'm a gamer, and they still have a lot to show and prove. But now I can say the slander that you expected from me, but it's not slander, it's just fact. The PS5 situation is a complete clusterfuck, worse than they tried to portray the Xbox One situation to be. Because you know what the difference is between the PS5 and the Xbox One? The Xbox One worked day one. It had games day one. Frankly, that was the best launch library the Xbox franchise or platform ever had. No, it wasn't the 360, it wasn't the original Xbox, it wasn't the Series Xboxes, it was the Xbox One. It had the best launch ever. The systems worked. Okay, there was no red ring of death. It had a giant fan. It looked like a VCR because they took their time to put a giant heatsink and fan, and it used less power than the PS4. It did all these things that they went overboard because they remembered what happened with the 360 with the red ring of death. And I don't mean this as slander, I mean it as fact. The PS5 situation is a bigger clusterfuck than the Xbox One situation would have ever been. Because at least the Xbox Ones worked and had games day one, and everything they promised about the system did what it was supposed to do. The PS5, in all aspects, light on games, systems are failing. The expansion slot 9 months in, they are using the user base as crash test dummies to find out what drives work and what drives don't. And even then, you can't be guaranteed the entire library will work in the life of the system if you get one of these drives and pop it in your system, because that's also in fine print.
And if you are a crash test dummy, you have no insurance on one of the scarcest consoles in history.
Right.
So
That's the thing. Like, so if just say for the most part, people have a warranty, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what Sony is looking at it from that aspect. It's like, well, you know, we're not held liable, but you know, through your store.
Well, good is a warranty when the store is like, you know, there's no guarantee when they're going to get the next one.
Well, that was my next point, was going to be like, well, okay, you can skate through that by saying, well, I got my 1 year warranty, so I hooked up these SSDs and I've had problems, or it overheated, or you know, another thing that I know a lot of people is going to try to do is, and I've seen it just online, where people are trying to find cheaper solutions just to add shit and say, oh yeah, it works. And then when it fucks up something, then next thing you know, you know, they can take it back. But just like what you was making that point, they're so
look at
scarce.
Sony's track record when you do contact them about customer support. Like if they don't like what you're saying, they will ban your ass.
They will ban you, right? And so, and then if you're a content creator, and if you went ahead and tried to listen to another person and try to take their advice on what you want to implement and put in, and it didn't work out, and it fried your PlayStation 5, then if you go complain about it, then they're going to put you on the shit list. So yeah, right. And so, like, again, I don't listen. This is the whole reason why I say I had the opportunity to get both at the same time. And I just said, no, just wait. There's just something about the way that they have been so secretive, the way that they've, you know, about when, especially the day of. It was the day before or the day of? It was in that same week when the PS5 was being released. They did that to the memory, where they locked it out, where nobody could use it. I said, something's wrong. Something is not right. That is, if anything, they would be out here to try to say, yeah, go ahead and get something like this. So then I said, no, something's not right. Either Sony is trying to force you to buy a product that's going to be made from them, or that they'll partner with somebody, or this machine is got some issues, got some external issues, and that this thing was rushed. And so I'll just wait. You know, it's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see that some of the games that I want, like Miles Morales, I can get on the PlayStation 4. I don't care about Demon Souls or anything like that. So I'm good. Now we're looking at, we're not even a year later. It's not a year yet, but when you look at it, you're just now finding out some information about it, because I've been hampering on this for a while about, look, if this was Xbox, people would have been ripping them, and deservedly so. How are you going to talk all this stuff about memory and all of this and all of that and the speed, and nobody can get access to it? Plus, you got all these games on Game Pass, and everybody got to swap out games and everything. That's the inconvenience that we're talking about. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So if Xbox was doing this, they would get all the slander and rightfully so. PlayStation should get the same thing, but they put their face in the sand and keep saying, no, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. But then on the other time, all these games that's going to be coming, all these games are coming. Okay, so you're going to be playing Hollywood Shuffle with your damn games. Or because, the fact that, the lack of games that they have, like you said, which you're absolutely right, it doesn't matter as much.
And dude, you talk about Hollywood Shuffle. I can come out from experience. Like when I got the Series S, and shout out to RG Viper for hooking me up with the Series S. When I got the Series S, you guys know I could not afford the storage expansion. I was like, yeah, I'll just throw in my external and switch out games and stuff. And KMEGA, you've known me for pretty much the longest out of anybody in this YouTube community. Like, I'll play one game faithfully, but I'll dip into like 5 or 6 other games as well. Like when it comes down to it, and switching my game from the external to the internal, and then switching it out to put another one in, it was a huge pain in the ass, to the point where when I could do it, I got the expansion for the Series S. Now, another thing that I think this is a negative just on this generation alone. Now, granted, the technology needs these ultra fast SSDs. They need to do all this, for the cut down on load times, which is, the quick resume on Xbox. That's great. But take a step back and look at it. We are now taking this as a luxury, the stuff that we kind of got used to in previous generation. You know what I'm saying? Previous generation, you just got an external. Yes, there was load times and stuff like that, but now, like, you know, I had people on Crossfire tell me, well, you know, it's a luxury to be able to play your game off of the storage expansion, and that's why it's so expensive. And it's like, well, dude, we got used to that on the previous generation, to just have a game on your storage expansion, which is, you know, back then it was the external hard drive, and having it just run from there, not having to switch it out and stuff like that. So now the stuff that we got accustomed to as just the way it is has turned into a luxury that is going to be, you know, a couple $100 to get back to that way of you know, downloading and playing games. That's a negative across this gen, period, in my opinion. Now, it does come with a lot of positives in terms of the load times, the quick resume, and stuff like that. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that, you know, they took what we used to just, you know, be able to do, and now it's a quote unquote luxury that you have to spend like over $200 to get.
But see, Bot, I said this. 108 has definitely said this a lot. I've seen, you know, and also seen, you know, King David and them also make the same point. The gamers asked for this. The gamers ask for this. And so now you're going to have to put up or shut up. That's the point that where you're at now. We want the biggest, the best looking games. We want the best voice actors and actresses that you could possibly put out there. We want all the visuals, all the bells and whistles. We want fast memory. We want SSD. We want all of this implemented. We want our consoles to perform at high end levels as you would have on a PC. Gamers ask for this. And so now it's here. Gamers can't be bitching about it. Yeah, they can't complain about it now. This is what you asked for. Now, again, you know what I'm saying? When people ask for certain things, they may not do their research, or they may not understand the gravity of how much that they have to invest into this stuff, especially when you get a PC and you build one from scratch and you see all the things that you have to do. That's why I know for sure, you know, for me just being, I would say between a novice and an advanced PC guy, because of the fact of what I've been learning the more and more since I've been doing this.
You're intermediate?
Yeah, I'm a tweener. I'm intermediate. Is that, yeah, there's a lot that you got to put in to go get a PC. And this is why I know that there's going to be PC guys who will never, ever get involved into buying a console, except for maybe a Switch or something like that, because of the fact of how much money they've invested into their PCs. So that's why. So that is
my hole-in-one in gameplay.
Oh my God! Listen to this.
Oh yeah.
And we see Sir X-Man is in here too, man. What's up, Sir X-Man? What's happening?
I'm here. What's up, guys?
Okay, all right. It's like, how you just creep in here and not say nothing? I was about to give you the ejecto seat. Anyway, so
you say that every day.
but
I saw you was on a Saturday, man. I figured I'd come in for a few minutes until I heard what you was talking about before I go in for extra day.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. No, that's no big deal. I was just saying, you know, what's up, man? Tell everybody what's up. What's going on with you?
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Just trying to straighten out stuff so I can find time to start gaming again, man.
Oh, man.
You
sound sad. This man sounds sad over here. Like, Jesus. Help this brother out, man.
I miss my gaming, man. But, you know, life, man. Life comes first, man.
Yes.
That's what it always does. No doubt.
Know all about that. And that was the point that I was going to make. You know, sometimes you can't afford everything, and see, that's the thing about it. Like, a lot of people, when myself and 108 Dragons were saying, I knew it was money motivated to a high degree, while a lot of people didn't want to.
Well, I mean, that's what companies are here to do, is to make money. So, I mean,
right,
yeah.
But listen, I understand, and this is what 108 was saying last night before, you know, the connection dropped or whatever happened.
Yeah, I saw that.
When you're hardcore into gaming or whatever, and you spend a lot of money on it, you might forget the struggle. You know, some folks can't. And the example he gave, you know, somebody got a PS5 and he had to choose between Miles Morales Ratchet and Clank. Lemon's thinking, hey, I'm just gonna get both. Not everybody can do both. They gotta pick one because they got the pockets for that for whatever reason. And so there's a lot of people who don't want to believe certain things, like this whole SSD situation is a perfect example. And I'm not saying that for shade or nothing else, because listen, the reason why I got an LG TV and a new graphics card and an iPad and the Series X and the drive and many other things last year, it wasn't because of the stimulus and stuff. That was my E3 money. Well, not the Xbox, but that was my E3 money for last year.
There's no E3.
Right. And I worked my ass off while I spent over a year and a half working extra hard, overtime, whatever, putting that into an account. So when I went to E3, I could do what I wanted with no problem. Come back with, all types of merch and stuff and have that dream of being at E3 as a gamer. That was the thing I wanted to do and couldn't go to E3. I had this money, but even now I want a Steam Deck. I want this, I want that. I work hard for it, but sometimes you have responsibilities. You can't work infinitely hard to get everything. You have responsibilities. Those things come first, then the games, because this is just a hobby. So there's that to be understood, but you have to be realistic with the facts, because the facts don't care about your pockets. The facts don't care about your biases. And this is why when I was saying what I was saying about the PS5 and KMEGA, and I'm not liking what you're saying, you think it's slander, but it's not slander.
No, it's real.
No, it's real. I'm just being funny with it, but I get you right.
Right. Absolutely, you're being funny with that. I'm just saying, at that point, a lot of people aren't going to take it as you're taking a joke, and I'm just being an Xbox fan. No, it's that. This is a cluster.
Can I say something a minute?
Yes, please.
All right. I said this way before, and no one ever listened to me. After the Xbox reveal, everybody kept asking Sony, "What you gonna bring? Sony, what you gonna bring?" Sony was not ready for this generation. I've been telling people that, but no one believes me. They rushed this system out so they can compete on the same day as the Xbox. And the other problem with Sony is these scalpers bought all your consoles. They bought it in they scalping it in an epidemic where these people don't have money. You want to go find your consoles? That's where they are. That's why you're not moving. You got what you got out the door in the beginning. You got some people that paid for all this money, but those things are sitting in people's warehouses waiting for people to pay double, triple the money. That's why you're not making this money here. And your SSD problem, you should have known. Microsoft said we're going to have an expansion for it. You should have set something like that up in your console. And all your other consoles previous to that, you had it where people could change their memory. If you didn't have to rush, you would have had that set up for yourself.
Right. No. Preach.
So I've been trying to tell people, they rushed the system out. That's why they're coming rid of fresh regen. I believe it's coming. And they're going to correct their mistakes, and they'll probably have it as powerful as the Xbox One X. But they rushed it because they didn't want to lose that market share. That's about all I got on that, but it's the truth, how I see it.
No, I totally agree. No, no, you're right about everything you just said. I think it's because that's one of the other topics that we got. It was talking about the whole 10 million sold and stuff like that. But I just feel that if for gamers to complain about the prices of whatever it is, and listen, look, I don't have the money like that too to just go and get everything that I totally want. Like, what I'm saying? I was e-begging for Samurai Warriors 5 and my boy Sleepy Goblin hooked me up. I don't worry about it. I got that gameplay in here for you. There's
a Samurai Warrior 5 coming up?
Yes. Samurai. Yeah, no, it came out this week. And so I've been playing it, but and then until the Halo Infinite thing came, and then
I'm gonna get it for fight night whenever I'm able to.
Well,
play.
No. It's not a fighter. It's not a fighter. It's those. What's those? I forget what that genre is called.
Dynasty Warriors.
It's like Dynasty Warriors.
I don't do Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. And this is kind of like a reboot or something like that. So, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to get into that genre, and so I was playing it, and so I was having a good time with it. Anyway, but the thing to me is that it's just like I was saying earlier was that look, people, you can ask for the world, but once you see how much things cost, you can't complain about it because you asked for this. You want this, and listen, not everybody's. This is the reason why the whole SSD situation is dangerous for just consumers, any consumer, even us. I mean, because we don't know all the ins and outs. We absorb more information, so we're more aware. But for people who don't take in this information like this, and for other people who semi take the information, these are the people that's going to be losses, because just think about that person that says, "Oh, okay, so this is the type of I was listening to my favorite content creator and they said that this works, right?" Well, they go and they spend the $275 or the $175 or whatever for the 500 gig. Then they go and they put it in. Then they come to find out Sony says, "Oh, well, that's not the right one." Or let's just say that they try to cut corners, which I know people will do because that's just the nature of the beast. They'll say, "Oh, instead of paying, I'll get this $99 one." You know what I'm saying?
So save money,
right? To save money,
yes,
right. And so
excuses in their mind, but it doesn't validate the facts. The facts don't care about that,
right? And so therefore, what you do is that. You get a situation where they're like, well, look, it says this, it's the same damn brand name. Why it won't work? So when their PlayStation breaks down, they're either the first thing they're going to do is probably take it to their store, or they're going to call Sony. And if they call Sony and Sony says we're not liable, then what do you think that type of customer service is going to feel?
For that, bro.
Right. And then
remember the PS2?
Man. Yeah, but it's just like what Xbox was saying here earlier, was that Sony already gave a notice telling people that, look, we're not liable if something goes wrong. So and I think why Sony is over here giving out that disclaimer is because they know the console is still within the first year, and so therefore it's cool with the it's under the warranty through the place that they bought it from. So therefore they'll just go in there and can get it replaced. But also another problem is that there's not enough PlayStation 5s to go around, so that means somebody's on the waiting list. So what do you think that customer is going to do if that situation happens? Or let's just say, because by next year there's going to be more games that's only going to be able to be played on the PlayStation 5 and not anywhere else, that's going to need that SSD, and then that SSD, that game doesn't work. So not only that they getting screwed over on the SSD aspect of it, then the game that they paid for is going to be messed up. So again, like what do you think that they're going to do? They're going to go to the next thing. They're going to go get them a PC, or they're going to get an Xbox, or they're going to go to Nintendo. They're going to go somewhere else, because the casual market is not loyal to you. They go where the deals are. That's why the PlayStation 4 kicked off, because of that $100 price tag. And then everything else is history. Yeah. People, you know what I'm saying? Listen, and listen, it's crazy to me too how the situations is flipped in reverse, because Xbox was tone deaf by charging a $500 console right when that recession just ended. People are just trying to get their shit together. People was over here struggling, trying to pay bills, and then you're going to say, oh, well, here's a $500 console for, and people are just coming out of recession. Now you look at this situation, Sony's asking you for $70 for a game. They're asking you $500 for a console. They're asking
$400 for the other disc.
Well, the 400 is the hardest thing to find. That thing is like a dodo bird. It's damn near extinct. Well, the dodo bird is extinct,
you can find the one Xbox got.
Well, that's plenty of
find that one.
Right. But
that's for the people that can't afford the big one, until they're able to get a big one.
Right. So it's really hard for people to find. I found one at Sam's Club, and that's when I said I was going to get it, but then I was like, no, let me hold off and wait, because I don't know what to expect yet. And so I waited, but that was the only one that I seen And I've been still looking around for people because I got friends that's diehard PlayStation fans, and they keep saying, Mega, I know you got to know somebody or know something where PlayStation 5 is. No, I don't know. And then they ask for the $400 one because there's like, I'll go all digital. They're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. So again, you're in a precarious situation to where if you sit there and get something messed up, and then if the game that you sit there and purchase for $70 is fucked up too, customers are going to bail. They're going to bail.
Their ass out.
You're caught up people that just got out of a pandemic. Look, everybody knows what happened last year, and now things are ramping back up again. It looked like there's going to be some other issues happening, and you're still asking for more money. That it just isn't. When you're looking at your competition, saying, "Look, we got Game Pass." That will alleviate some of your pain. You know what I'm saying? You may not can go get that memory card right now for $200 and some. We understand that, but at least you can go and play musical chairs with your for what the memory that you do have, and play some games with Game Pass. That's what it's about.
External without a problem for previous games that you have.
Right.
But here's one thing I love that Microsoft did. They let you use a memory card. It's simple. If you want to buy it, you want to download more of the quick resume games, and you've got the money for it, just get you another $215 memory card, man. You can just swap them in and out, no problem. It'll work instantly.
Right.
You ain't got to go in and take the SSD out of the system. If you want to have a library like we used to have back in the day, our memory cards were full, we went out and bought another one. You know what I'm saying? This is just 30 years later when we used to do that, but the cost of things are higher. So it's just that type of situation that you had back then in the 90s. So, I can respect that.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at what Chris Hart saying in the chat. I'm looking at what Chris Hart said in the chat, which makes no damn sense. You saying, okay, let's get this all the way 100. Xbox asks for more money every month via Game Pass. PlayStation's asking for PSN.
And you ain't got nothing to play.
Look, you know what I'm saying? So which one is the better service? Game Pass or PSN? I know PSN's been putting out some really good games, but they're older games. You know what I'm saying? But you really going to try to
where the newer games at?
Where the newer games at? Why is that? Why is not okay? Returnal's been out for what, 2 months now? Why is not Returnal on PSN? Why isn't it? And then on top of that, Sony asked you to pay for additional shit for PS Now. Because I went ahead and signed up for PS Now, and then I was thinking that it was all bundled up together. No, you got to pay an additional, I think, what is it, $10, $15 for a PSN, because I was going to be playing it on my PC.
What?
Yes. So it's not bundled together. So I'm kind of like, whoa, because I bought 2 years of PSN, and I was like, all right, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, well, I'm sure, because I'm thinking that they're doing the same thing as what Xbox is doing. So while you over here saying, while you wolfing tickets, why don't you be real about it? So now who's still asking for more money on top of the fact that they're charging you $10 extra more for a damn game? And then they're even asking you for more money for a game that they had from last year that you bought. And I bought the deluxe edition of Ghost of Tsushima. And I paid the deluxe edition, and then they're asking me to pay another $20 for the $20 version, and the fact, because I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, I can't even get all the benefits, even if I pay this extra $20-$30. This is $20-$30 extra for it. So 20 extra bucks for it. So you mean to tell me that I'm paying upwards of $50 extra because I got the deluxe edition, which was $80, and then I'm going to pay another $20 on top of that, and then there's going to be things missing. I can't even get the lip sync feature. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Stop it. Listen.
Wait a minute. You mean that meme was real?
Yeah, that was real. Yeah, that's real.
Holy wow.
Yeah, that's real. So you telling me? So come on, man. Stop it. Listen.
I got him, KMEGA.
You got him.
I'm gonna pull a lemon for you.
You get him.
Xbox does it for you for free.
Right. And we were just talking about that last night on GRG before it went complaint.
I know I was listening to you until it died when I was at work.
Right.
Bro.
You can earn the listen. I'm signed up to the Sony's rewards. I got like 105, 106 PlayStation games, PlayStation 4 games, and I haven't had enough points to even buy an indie game from Sony.
Their rewards ain't like us.
Right. Like I could just play games and get achievement points, and people can sit here or then they could do other things like what Bot was saying, with like what Jamie was doing and other stuff where they could just go on Bing and they can do all different types of shit. And they can buy their for basically free. Their Game
the
Pass
360 era for years. I did that for like the last 3 years of the 360, if not longer. That's how I pay for my Xbox Live. Every day I go on, I do my little search thing. I get enough points. I do my Game Pass like that too. Yup. And now it's built into the Xbox just by playing the games that you're getting.
And nobody talks about this, but you guys see it all the time when you're playing Xbox and you got, come claim this, come claim that outfit, come claim this, but the perk system that they give us. We get stuff for free all the time with the perks that we can use with our games, like for Rainbow Six, for Phantasy Star, and a whole bunch of other games. Does Sony do that?
And on Game Pass Ultimate, they give you codes for like Spotify and Disney Plus, and then if you play Phantasy Star, they're giving you items and stuff. So even though that's a free-to-play game where they monetize stuff, like I've never had to pay for Phantasy Star Online's, items and stuff, because I get those items from the Game Pass Ultimate monthly.
I love the new
game came out last year.
Slayer, you like the outfits that they give you from Rainbow Six Siege, all the new stuff for your operators? That's sick, dude.
Yeah, man. You don't really you pay for your hardware, you pay for the service, and then the games you really love, you buy them. You just buy them, even if they're on Game Pass. And Xbox fans, it just goes to show they buy their games. PlayStation gamers don't buy games as much as the attach rate is low on PlayStation. It's low.
Mr. Hart. So you go pay an extra $10 to $20 for an upgraded game that you've paid before, while Microsoft will give us stuff to enhance our games so we can keep coming back and play them. That's all I gotta say.
The lip sync is a perfect example. That's not something the newer hardware can't, the older hardware can't do. That was a bug or something in the game that they never fixed. Now they're keeping a bug fix behind a paywall. Really?
Wait a minute. Who does that? Wait a minute. A bug fix behind a paywall for a game?
Yeah, the lip sync was a bug. The lip sync. I mean, what game have you ever seen where the lip sync did not work the way it was supposed to, and it wasn't a bug?
Which game is this again?
Ghost of
Tsushima.
Well, the game was made in Japanese, so probably came out in Japanese, but then they subbed.
No, it was made. No,
in English.
It was made in English. It's an American-made game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the bug isn't a programming bug in that they didn't do it right.
There you go, Sleepy.
The mouth motions are the English mouth motions, right? But now that they have the Japanese audio to go with it, it's behind a paywall. What the heck is that?
No one does that.
I don't see how that's not. I don't even see how that's legal.
Something like that is just a standard update in most games.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did anybody block RGV Viper or anybody like that? Because
RGV Viper, no, definitely wouldn't have blocked him. No, I see him all the time.
Because he says he's trying to type in the chat, but he can't get he can't. Nobody can't see. He can't. It won't pop up. He said he won't see it. We haven't seen anything from him. Let me see.
Ask him to refresh the website and see if it's just acting up. And make sure you're in live chat, not top chat.
Yeah, to refresh. Yeah, because that is odd. I was like, no,
I wouldn't have blocked him. No, I know him.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't have blocked him. He never says anything out of pocket.
No, and you know what I'm saying. And we got Chris Harden here. He's not blocked, so he's fine. If Fred was a moderator, then it might be all over.
Yeah. I blocked him, so I don't see him myself. But he's not blocked out of the chat.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't. You got to be going real foul. I don't mind people having different opinions. You know what I'm saying. But if you're going real foul, then you get the boot. But Oh, Prince said I am. Oh shit. Oh, that's right. He is. He's blue. Oh no, Viper. I'm gonna try to look for you, and then if not, I'll try to make you a moderator. So therefore, we won't have that problem again. But yeah, I can't see you. So hot dang it.
What up,
Anyway,
Bob? How you doing?
What up, X-Man?
He's already playing the hell out of Cyberpunk over there.
Yeah, I am. Yo, it's just crazy. I'm dealing with this camouflage dude. He got missiles. He got glowing red blades coming out of his arms, man.
I thought you were trying to fly to New York or something. I don't know.
Well, that wouldn't be a long trip if I go from Connecticut to New York, man. I did visit the Great Pyramids. I visited Rio de Janeiro. I flew around Alaska already. I'm getting my wings, man. I'm getting my flight time in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but right now it's all Cyberpunk.
Well, enjoy yourself, man. That's what it's all about. That's what game is supposed to be all about. Enjoying yourself. It ain't supposed to be about drama. It's supposed to be about having fun.
Right. Oh yeah, one last thing about RG Viper. I never saw his name in the chat all day. Like I scrolled.
Me either. No, he said he's been trying to talk, but I don't know.
Haven't seen him in a while.
I'm gonna try to type his name in and just see if it pops up. If not, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm sorry, Viper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
RG Viper X, right? Yeah, I don't see him.
Me on the box. He said, "Hey, bro, what's happening, man?
We'll look into that afterwards. Yeah, find out what's going on with that because that's not. Yeah. Definitely not intentional.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Don't worry.
Even if we have a different opinion, I'm not gonna kick you. I'm not gonna give you the boot.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to block me forever, and he ain't ever.
What's going on, Anthony?
So you all right.
So I typed your name in, but I don't know. So anyway, all right. So let's move on to the next topic. I definitely, you know what I'm saying, the SSD situation is a tobacco, man. It's awful. It's awful.
Absolutely.
They got to fix it.
But they're not over here.
Yeah, no, it's Xbox is just doing things a lot better. It might, Sony just cut corners and that's just no ands or buts about it.
They weren't ready, brother.
They weren't ready. No. That is the absolute truth. Yeah.
Nobody believed me when I said it. Remember that? You know, I always used to say that, KMEGA. Yeah. Even you gave me a little beef on it, but I knew they wasn't ready.
Well, no, I was trying to, I always try to play devil's advocate because, I mean, deep down I felt the same way, but I'm always like, look, man, I don't want to, because we're more Xbox centric, that I don't want to just come off as like, oh, PlayStation is
like
just
everything, though.
But that's the problem is that, like, look, I mean, PlayStation's been messing up, man. It's just,
it's a simple fact.
It's just a simple fact. You gotta just talk about
my fault. They're that bad at what's going on. Their own fault, not ours.
It's okay to still enjoy your PlayStation, but you can't say that everything is topsy turvy over there. It's just not, because when things were bad for Xbox, I'm just like, look, I'm still enjoying my Xbox, and I'm liking some of these games, but I mean, it's not as diverse as it should be over there. Oh yeah, so things need to be better. So you got to just be honest about it. All right, so let's get on to the next one. Okay, PlayStation 5 hits 10 million sold the fastest, while Xbox Series X and S is the fastest selling Xbox consoles ever. Both are doing great, but which one at this time seems to be in the driver's seat? So let me go ahead and go to you, Sir X-Man, since you're here first, and then I'll go to Bot next.
PC's in the driver's seat.
Come on now. No, we ain't doing that.
I'm in the driver's seat.
Oh, man. Come on. Bot said he's in the driver's seat right now.
Xbox and his PC division are in the driver's seat.
Whoa, look at me. Man, look at I'm slicing these dudes up. I'm slicing and dicing. Yeah. Anyway.
But you know I'm right. Xbox and his PC division for Xbox are in the driver's seat right now. That's all I got to say is true. Every game I download, but in the Xbox app, not in the Xbox store, downloads, plays flawlessly. It even automatically customizes for my 3-screen, dude. It sets everything up, puts it in Ultra, and it's running like butter, man. I love using the Xbox app now on the PC. It's magnificent. And the quality is just unreal, dude. And it holds me over until I can get me a Series X. You know what I'm saying? And I love that.
You're not missing
Microsoft
out.
is doing it right. I'm not missing out. You know? Microsoft is doing everything the right way, dude. Everything the right way. The only thing I'm upset about, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I feel sorry for the PS4 players when they can't get a PS5, and Sony is putting all their newer games on the PS5, and they're not thinking about the people on the PS4 that still want to play some games. You're leaving them behind, Sony. You need to stop that. Microsoft is thinking about the people in the past and the future and everywhere else. They need to get it together and learn from Microsoft. Wait a minute, they always steal stuff from us. What am I saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's it on it, man. That's how I feel on that. We winning, dude.
Yeah, no, I don't know. What color was showing me from his phone.
You didn't even hear me.
No, I heard everything that you said. I know I heard everything you said. I was reading what Viper was saying too. That I just don't. I don't know what
you're still trying to get it straightened out.
Yeah. I don't know. This is something that's beyond my beyond anything that I can do to fix that. I don't know what the hell's
going on. Go into his Google settings and check and see if he's got some restrictions on that he doesn't know about.
Right. Like I don't know. Like check and see if there's updates. I know if you have an update on your computer or on your phone or something like that, they'll definitely screw things up like that. And then also,
they will.
And if you're having these type of problems as well, it could explain why last night, while the podcast was tripping out, and I didn't know if it was coming from Google or if it was coming from Restream or if it was coming from not Google from YouTube or if it was coming from Restream. Or if it was coming
had a problem today too.
Did they? So it's probably a YouTube problem. So yeah, so that's I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That thing is way over my head on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't have you blocked. I don't have but only the crazy people that was going nuts about 3 years ago. Just coming in and just saying all types of wild, unnecessary stuff. I blocked those people, but no, nobody else has been blocked from me for years. So that's something that needs to be figured out. But okay, so before I go to you, Bot, I gotta say this. What was this? I see. Where's it coming from? It wasn't from anime. What was from No Russian? He was like, but yet Madden is charging $40 extra for ray tracing and nobody's saying a word. Listen, Madden, that's EA. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? That's not Xbox. Yeah, that's not. EA. Yeah, that's EA doing. And listen, this is for the very first time, and I've been buying Madden since 1987. I've had Madden ever since 1992, but I didn't start buying my own until 91. But I didn't start buying my own until 96, 95, 96. And so this will be the first year after all those years of buying Madden that I might consider not getting Madden and just waiting until it goes to EA Play in February, March. That's where I'm at with that, because I am pretty pissed off about that. But that's not Xbox or PlayStation's fault. That's an EA problem. That's them. So it's not even the same. It's not even compared the same way. So no, stop capping. Bot, what about you, man? Who's in the driver's seat right now? PlayStation is, because how everybody has said it in the industry is whoever gets to 10 million first is usually the console, usually the market share king. But then we've also said, and this has also been reported elsewhere, that Xbox can win the mind share without selling the most consoles this generation because of their services. So right now, who is in the driver's seat at this point in time? Is it Xbox or PlayStation because of their accolades right now?
Well, right now, for anybody who says that, the first 10 million basically wins the generation, you're talking about past generations. We are seeing stuff now that we've never seen in the console space when it comes to gaming. And when you look at who is basically in front of these new features in terms of like Game Pass subscription services, putting their first party studios day and date into that service and stuff like that. It's Xbox right now. And then not only that, but you look at what's going on with Game Pass. And I know there are people out there, especially like the PlayStation extremists, they get tired of hearing Game Pass. But Game Pass is such a pivotal feature this generation. Again, it's something that we've really not seen in previous gens. Granted, it started last gen, but it was a baby then, man. It was nothing like what it is now. You started seeing it close to the end of last gen, but coming into this gen, seeing Microsoft, Xbox kind of double down and really seeing their studio acquisitions. They got 23 first party studios now, multiple teams within those studios, all working to be the backbone of Game Pass. You talked about mindshare, KMEGA. That's it right there. Right now, we're seeing a dip in PlayStation and Sony. We're seeing even the gaming media like talking praise when it comes to Game Pass. You see, retailers talking Game Pass. It was somebody, I think it was Six Layer. I think it was Six Layer yesterday when we were talking. We touched on Game Pass. Somebody put it out there that even or it might have been D. Even in the Apple Store, with dealing with Apple products, you saw a thing for Game Pass and purchasing Game Pass on the Apple Store. That right there,
guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for letting me in, guys.
Hey, no problem, man.
Holler
at you, man.
All right, man. Catch y'all later.
But that right there tells you who's in the driver's seat, because when it comes down to it, you have other companies, even companies that they're not in the console space, but you're seeing Xbox Game Pass being sold in their websites and stuff like that. You see the consumer base out there really looking into Game Pass and seeing what that has to offer. You're seeing a mind share swing over to Xbox, and now you're looking at possible delay of one of Sony's big games that's supposed to be coming out like around the holidays. You see Xbox, showing Forza Horizon 5. You see the Halo Infinite kind of like flight going all over Twitter. Even the casual gamers out there, everybody's in social media. You know what I'm saying? So they're they see like these clips, highlights, stuff like that going on, and they're seeing like this Halo. They're gonna decide right then and there. This game looks like something I'm gonna get into, or not. So you got Xbox pretty much everywhere. You got them, coming out with new games. Forza Horizon 5, when it came to E3, basically stole the show. Stole the show when it came to it. Like that was the one game when people who watched E3, people who got into E3, when they're like, what did you see at E3? The 9 times out of 10, the first thing that the people were talking about was Forza Horizon 5, which is an Xbox exclusive. So when it comes down to it, there's a mindshare swing that's going on right now. You're seeing kind of like negative news come out when it comes to Sony. Now, if you live in the console war space, you do see kind of like the Sony extremists trying to negate the fact that Sony's news hasn't been so positive lately, and they're trying to put spins on it and stuff. But if you take yourself out of that bubble, you will realize that Sony and PlayStation has definitely taken a hit. Does it mean that they're just like ground level, that they've taken like a nuclear bomb explosion? No. But like I can't believe I'm saying this, but like Crap Gamer said, it's been like bits and pieces of negative news that are just starting to pile on top of PlayStation and Sony. Whereas when it comes to Xbox, everything is on the upswing. You got Game Pass doing really well. You got different companies promoting Game Pass, within, whether it be Apple, other companies like that. You have huge games coming out this year at pretty much the right time. And Xbox has shown that there is a future, 2022 with Starfield and other games like that. We already know Forza Motorsport is in the works. I can go on and on about games that are being developed that are going to be on the Xbox platform, which is, of course, Xbox console, Xbox cloud, and PC that a lot of people are interested in, they're excited about, they want more information about. There's a mindshare swing that's going on right now. So I gotta say that Xbox is in the driver's seat right now with all that put together, bro.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well said. Well said. What about you, Slayer? What do you think? I mean, who's in the driver's seat at this point right now?
Well, I was basically gonna say it depends on the metric that you follow, right? Because, like I always say, the facts don't care about your feelings, right? But I think Xbox broke it down real nice. Frankly, I was gonna say, I really don't know because it depends how you look at it. Early on this year, people were saying, Xbox, like even the press, or even like you go to Linus Tech Tips or MKBHD or any of those YouTubers who are tech YouTubers, right? And what's that other guy with the glasses? Austin Evans, right?
Yeah.
Those are the three I wanted to name outright. But there are others like them who are slightly under those guys, right? Or also big names in their own rights. And they follow, when a new consoles are out, they'll compare the new consoles and they'll say one is probably above the other, or they'll say the PC thing that, they're both doing great, you could pick whatever, right? But when it came to the beginning of this generation, they all were saying PlayStation had games and the Xbox didn't, which we knew not to be true. But so in that early point, you would think, okay, the PlayStation is in the lead, at least in mind share, right? But like I said in the beginning, depends on the metric you're talking about. Sony's metric has always been sales numbers, how many consoles are being sold, how many copies of games are being sold. But we know Microsoft doesn't use that metric anymore, and they've explained why. And I believe that they're right in that's not the metric to follow anymore, because it's not just about consoles, especially when you have a situation like Game Pass, where it's not just about playing your games on that console. It could be on the cloud, it could be on the PC, it could be, multiple ways. So how do you objectively count who's winning, right? And when I look at all the things that is happening, and Xbox is right. I mean, sorry, Xbot. I always say Xbox in my own mind when I see your name, right? In my own mind.
That's what I just say bot, or I just say 448 or something. I don't know. Yeah.
So. Okay. So bot. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So bot was saying what Crap Gamer had said, that and that's true. You can't, and at the same time, it's kind of because I think he's trying to ingratiate himself with the Xbox community that he so I feel there's a little bit of that, but yet and still it's the fact what he said, that the news is positive on the Xbox side 99%, except for when they tried to increase the price of Xbox Live. But even that they spun into a positive because it shows that they're listening. So even that whole debacle was a net positive for them. Anybody who tries to use that as a negative right now, we already know where they're at with it, right? So in the end, I think Xbox is in the driver's seat from every metric. I think maybe even console sales. That may be the only one that's questionable in my mind, but every other metric, when it comes to attach rate of games, when it comes to the services, when it comes to everything, the metric isn't just about how many consoles you sell, right? And if that's the one thing that Sony debatably probably has, right? But if you look at every other metric, any other kind of thing, mind share, this and that, it's all Xbox. It's all Xbox and not Sony. So I think Xbox is in the driver's seat. But can I factually prove it? Maybe if you say the Game Pass numbers, because the Game Pass numbers are well past 10 or even 20, in my opinion, probably past 35 or 40, and they're just waiting for a big number like 50 before they finally tell us, because, we had the quarterly earnings report for this quarter just passed and they didn't tell us, right? But they told us, I think the last time when they got to 25, that was the first quarter of the year. So I think in the end, yeah, Microsoft in the lead in all metrics except possibly the console numbers, but that Sony for now, because you count the Series S, little man is out there selling to a lot more people, because we were talking earlier about about pockets and how much people can afford. That Xbox Series S at $299 is very attractive, very, very attractive, and then it has to be another way that they're winning. So I think
Microsoft overall, to answer the question, Microsoft is clearly in the lead.
Okay. All right. So I got a different take. I think that Sony is still in the driver's seat only because of this reason. It's because of their dominance of what happened with the PlayStation 4.
Mindset, yeah.
Yeah, and their mind share. And PlayStation, and this is why I say that at this point, that's why I say it at this moment, is because the year is not up. PlayStation is at this moment has had the more popular games to be available for their customers. When you look at Miles Morales, when you look at Demon Souls, then you look at Returnal, and then Ratchet and Clank. That's it. And then of course they hit the 10 million sold, which again, we all know that most of those consoles aren't in homes, they're elsewhere. But this is the inevitable. I was talking with a writer last night for Xbox Estra. I can't
Estra.
Yeah. And I was talking with them last night, and so then we were just breaking things down and whatever, and so we got into the whole point about what this conversation was actually about, and I'm glad that we talked about it, because I would have been saying, damn, I wish I could have brought this information up to people on the podcast last night, but because of the way situations happen, I can talk about it now. There's data out there that shows that people are more enticed on wanting to have an experience than to purchase certain things. Therefore, like with the movement with digital property, the movement from just look at how the industry, just with everything else that surrounds within gaming, or just with entertainment, with music, with movies, with television, it's all digital. It's all going digital. And people so much, and listen, it used to be really cool back in the days to go into somebody's house and you see all these, in all these movies or all these music. I remember I walked up, a homegirl name was Ellen. She was a music, she wasn't a producer, but she was a promoter, music promoter. And we used to go over there to a crib and stuff, and I used to be in awe every time that I would go to a home, and they had this huge wall shelf, and it was filled with nothing but music, and it was all different types of music, like any and everything, and she got like her little pictures of all different artists and stuff that she's dealt with and stuff, and I thought that was the most amazing thing ever. Go and look at this generation. You would look at that and you're like, oh, that is dope. But man, that shit looks kind of cluttered. You know what I'm saying? So like people's mindset has evolved to where, yeah, I don't mind going ahead and buying this CD because I know I like this particular artist. But other people like the experiences of maybe wanting to listen to somebody else. And so if they can listen to them digitally, and then they like those type of that, let's say that they didn't like the album too much, but they did like 2 or 3 songs from that album. People will go ahead and get that digitally. You couldn't do that if you wanted to get a CD of somebody that, a CD of somebody, like for instance, if you just wanted to get it, I don't know. I'm just saying this off the top of the head. Like, let's say Taylor Swift, like you like that Taylor Swift song, right? And then you heard another song on the radio and you liked it. And then you got a chance to listen to her whole album and you just like those 2 songs. Well, then you could buy those 2 songs. You couldn't do that back in the days. You would have to buy her old CD, or hopefully she would have a single that of those 2 songs. That was it. Now you have the options to pick and choose. And so when that information got sent out about people being more in tuned about the experience, than purchasing certain type of content, that makes a lot of sense. This is the reason why Netflix is where they're at. This is the reason why Disney Plus is where they're at. This is the reason why Scarlett Johansson is over here trying to sue. Not trying, but is suing Disney because there were so many people who didn't go to the theaters because of that so-called experience where where to just to bowl and enjoy the theater like that. They just went ahead and paid the $30 to Disney Plus, and so she felt like she's missed out on a lot of money because of the fact that a lot of people just wanted to because
her contract says the theater sales is where she's getting a big cut from, and because that changed up and instead they put the movie elsewhere. Well, not instead because it was in both. Yeah, she lost a lot of money.
Right, and that's the thing. Right, and so again, that tells you right there that the customer base is over here. Look, digital is the future with all types of entertainment. We've already seen it. If it didn't work, then Netflix wouldn't have worked. Disney wouldn't have went ahead and made Disney Plus. We wouldn't see people cutting the cord like me finally cutting the cord with cable and now doing digital content and getting digital content. If this stuff was all about the old premise, the old way of how people used to game, then Sony would definitely be in the driver's seat by miles. But this is the reason why Sony is holding on to it now, but won't have it later. Because Sony is not equipped to spend this type of money that Xbox is willing to spend. This is as my boy One Bad Mother said. He said Xbox has what I'm saying, go fuck it money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, we made a mistake. Whatever. So they can make these moves and changes. And really what they're doing is that they're changing the game so much within gaming that there's people that still not understanding and not processing how fast this happened. When you first heard about Game Pass was talked about, in 2016, 2017? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden when it comes, then people are like, oh, it's just a fad. Now look at where it's at within 5 years. What, you got to get it? You got to get it?
My bad. Yeah, I got to get out of here, man. My bad. Just looked at the time. I still got to go to the store to grab dinner and stuff like that.
All right. That's cool. That's it. Tell them where they can find you at, man. Because we got one more topic.
No doubt. I mean, it was a blast hanging out with you guys. Second day, part 2 in the books for me. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Xbox Live, you just type in the same name, which is Xbot448, and you can find the content. You can find me gaming. You can find anything you want right there with that name. Congratulations, KMEGA and crew. For over 200 episodes, man. It's been a long time coming. Watching the show evolve as well, and it's something I do with Next Podcast. You go back and look at the first episode, and you kind of see the evolution. You guys have come a long way. Absolutely awesome show, and I will be back again for episode number 400.
Shit! Yeah,
200 more in the books. You guys are doing a great job, man. Everybody in the chat should definitely hit that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed to this channel, definitely subscribe. This man KMEGA is working hard to give you content. I say working hard, but he's a gamer and he's having fun along the way all the time. But doing these shows, it's not just all fun and games. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, man. And KMEGA, you and the crew, you guys are doing your thing, doing your thing.
Well, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. I'll see you Thursday. All right, man. Go take care of your business. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once I get finished with this or whatever, then we got one more topic and then we'll get out of here. Because I got to play with you some more Halo.
No doubt.
But I'm out. But all right, man. But I got to get. Oh, my bad, bro. And then I got to give me a bowl of cereal first. Well, and take a shower and to get a bowl of cereal. Then I'm ready to play. But I just everything about what is happening right now within gaming, this evolution, is I know for some people it just feels like, nah, man, this isn't the way, this isn't my gaming. This isn't the way that gaming is supposed to be. Gaming is always evolved. If you've been in gaming as long as we have, you've seen this evolution.
You should know this.
You should know this. If you've been in gaming as long as we have, as long, you know what I'm saying? I'm in and out Slayers too. We're considered root gamers. I was playing games ever since the arcades when I was 3-4 years old in the late 70s. You know what I'm saying? So so again, I've seen the evolution from arcade. Well, from there was pinball, then there was arcade, then you moved into the consoles, and there was consoles back then. But I never played a Magnavox back in the 70s or whatever. My first console was the Atari 2600. And then my grandfather found a Commodore somewhere like 2 years later. I started playing on the Commodore a little bit. Then Nintendo popped out of nowhere. And then I started playing it. And then again, you go from what the Atari was to what Nintendo was to what Nintendo and Sega. And then you go to what PlayStation. PlayStation did the same thing of what Xbox is doing right now. It's just like I said last night or this morning when we was having this discussion, was like Sony had a great ass run, 30 plus years, a 30-year run. But it's over. They can't compete with this. Sony cannot compete with what this new onslaught is. And Sony right now is in the driver's seat because of their namesake. But it's over. By the time we get to 2023, all that shit is over. It's gone. It's gone. I even think that it's going to happen earlier. And as you heard from what Xbox said and from what Slayer said, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Xbox is already ahead because of everything it's going. The blunders, the lack of the money that Sony can't push out like Microsoft can, Microsoft, Sony, they're the parent companies. Yeah. And then on just top of what Sir X-Men said about the pace of where everything is happening and where Sony just wasn't prepared. They should have brought the console out this year. But for them and now everybody can see why there was writers and there was people that was in the industry that was saying, well, Sony should be bringing out this console in 2021, not in 2020. Because they weren't prepared for anything that happened. And so again, here we go. And now Xbox is about to make this jump. Am I saying Xbox is going to be the face of gaming? They're just going to win the mind share. That's all I know. It's inevitable. Game Pass is what, and then when you've heard what other people have said about like, if Game Pass hits 30 million, then they're already making a profit. Well, I already think that they're there. I think that the last time that I heard it was 27. I think that they're already up there to up there close to 30. But let's just say that they're at 27. They're at the 23 to 27 range right there. And we're not talking about 23 to 2,700 people. We're talking about 23 to 27 million people. That's a lot of folks. And just think what's going to happen when Forza drops. What do you think is going to happen when Halo drops? What do you think?
That's the new for this year.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen when people get a chance to play on Game Pass Back 4 Blood? For those people out there, and then we're not even talking. That's in 2021. Come on now, it's inevitable.
Until we hear how many people are on Game Pass, the updated numbers. Until we hear those numbers, and it's all over. Excuse me, and it's all over the press. That's a big deal,
right? And I mean, what didn't Xbox win NPD? You know, I like talking about the NPD junk, but didn't Xbox win the NPD? Or you know, what I'm saying, or outdid Sony? I don't know who actually won the NPD. I don't really keep up. I've seen stuff. It
was Microsoft. They beat Nintendo and Sony, I think, last month.
Last month. So what do you talk? So what is this? So if Xbox, I mean, and that was something that Dee brought up last night, was that just think about what like the holiday season is going to be like when consumers out there going to buy stuff. Just think about that. Yeah, PlayStation is going to rake. Yeah, they're going to do well. But when you look at the competition, you got Nintendo that's going to be out there. And then you're going to have Xbox that's going to have two variances. And if PlayStation is still going to have a shortage, man, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. And then, of course, where we're going to have to finish off with is going to the last topic is talking about this Horizon Forbidden West situation. So yeah, no, PlayStation right now is still in the driver's seat as of right now, but it is inevitable that Xbox is about to lead them, about to go ahead of them and then lap them. It is inevitable. And I don't care who records this, who takes this, clip it, whatever, clip it, put it, stamp it. It is inevitable that Xbox is going to get this mind share. If that, you know what I'm saying? It is going to happen because Xbox's game lineup hasn't even kicked in gear yet. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. I mean, because you got what this month, next month in August, you got Psychonauts, and then for whatever else that they'll have. Man, when you get to the end of the year, that's when you're going to start seeing it. And then you jump into the beginning of the year and you're already going to have Stalker, and then you're going to have anything else. And then let's not forget about
Crossfire X.
Yeah, Crossfire X. You're going to have still Scorn still out there. Then you're going to have all these first party games that's going to be dropping. Then Starfield coming at the end of the year. You got Redfall. I know that we don't know enough about Redfall or Starfield yet. So,
Flight Simulator just came out. The Ascent just came out. The Halo preview just came out. That's 3 big ones in a week.
Yeah, and then all these indies that's getting all this acclaim and people are starting to play this stuff. If you look at the numbers, outside of what people talk about in these gaming streets, people like these experiences more than they like just going out there just buying certain stuff, because they know that they can just pay for a service and they could get feasted with all different types of diversity and different type of content within whatever how much that service costs. That's way more cost effective to them than it is for just going out here and paying for that price for that one thing. If you don't believe me, why do you think Sony is over here purchased Nexus so they could go ahead and start putting their games on PC? More of their games on PC.
It's the difference between it's the difference between you going to a Chinese restaurant, right, and you're getting some lo mein or something, or you going to the buffet. Yeah, it's that same difference right there.
Yeah. So no rushing. I just was showing Flight Simulator on the gameplay. I've been posting stuff with Flight Simulator, but again, there's a bigger game out there that's called Halo that everybody's posting. I haven't seen no PlayStation shit posted out there.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
None. So again,
not even Ratchet and Clank, which
I haven't seen no Ratchet and Clank, and that game looks absolutely phenomenal. But again, it just comes to show. Again, think about this. My last point, and then we'll get to that last topic. I promise. Another thing that I have to say that One Bad Mother said that was absolutely 100% correct. Listen, Ratchet and Clank sold over 1 million copies. I'm pretty sure it'll sell maybe about 3 to 5 million, which is excellent. But if Sony had a Game Pass type, service, let's say PSN Plus or something, right? And they put Ratchet and Clank on their day and date, and they saying they sold already over 10 million consoles. What do you think that number would be at that point if Ratchet and Clank dropped day and date on that PlayStation Plus? It would be It would be wherever close to the numbers that they said that they sold, or whatever, because we know that a lot of them are not in homes, but still. Let's just say 7 million. Are you kidding me? That's the difference of what Game Pass is giving, on top of the fact that there's Game Pass on PC and there's also games that goes on the PC. It's Xbox is. I said this and I'll say it again. Xbox came in here. They had the strategy. They said, look, if we're going to go in, we're going to go all in. We're going to do this. And then also one thing that I didn't even know that I found out last night, that the head of Microsoft was a person that used to work and get information, consulted or was on the board or something, that worked for Netflix. So of course this makes sense to them. Of course, it took time for Netflix to. That's what I'm saying. They know that they got to burn money to earn money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know how long it took before Netflix really got kicked off and started. Netflix started off by sending you 3 discs. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they were doing things better, crazier than anybody out there in the market at that time when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video was out there. They were basically, we'll give you 3 discs, 3 movies, and then we'll send them to you, and then you just send them back when you're done. All you got to do is just pay for the service. That's it. That's all you got to do. And other people thought that was crazy. How are you going to trust people holding on to the discs? People going to steal the discs. People going to do this. People going to do that. But they still, next thing you know, what happened? It evolved. Yep. It kept trends. And then what happened? Netflix is still here. Blockbuster, Hollywood Video.
Well, there's one left. There's one Blockbuster left. Yep.
But I mean, one left. One left.
Of hundreds of stores that used to
how many? Right. How many? Well, shit. Blockbuster was international. So I mean, I think it was international. I believe, right, or close to it. But anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
How many video stores are left out there? I see a couple. There was one that was right down the street from me, but then, of course, because of last year, they closed down. There's not very many of them left anymore.
And rare, like records in arcades. It's like that now.
It's just like that. And that's the thing right here what Microsoft is doing. Like, listen, get out of that. So, all right, let's talk about Horizon Forbidden West.
Real quick.
I
only have like 5 or 10 minutes.
So, we can be quick on that. Yeah, so we get out of here.
Okay.
So go ahead, man. What do you think about this whole situation? I mean, I think that I think personally we already knew because they don't ever put their juggernaut games. The only game that they did was the Kojima game. What is that game called? What was the Death Stranding?
Death Stranding.
Yeah. Death Stranding, and we seen what happened. It got ate alive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's only just a few type of games. I believe a God of War could definitely do well at the end of the year for PlayStation. But even with Forbidden West, for all the content of all the games that's going to be dropping at the end of this year, it just didn't make sense. You brought Horizon Dawn in the second quarter of that year when it came out, and it did well. It's just normal to just do the same thing. So again, you kind of knew this because we haven't seen anything else about it or heard anything else about it. It is unfortunate for PlayStation fans that was thinking that there was going to be something for them at the end of the year. But I mean, there is Deathloop, and then there would Tokyo Ghostwire that got delayed as well until next year. So it's a crazy situation. So I don't know. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is quite simple. It's a wash for Sony this year. It's a wash, right? Horizon, don't bring it out this year, even if you could just barely make it. Don't pull a Cyberpunk. Don't do it. It's already a wash for you, even if you was to bring that game out. You cannot put all of that pressure on that one game. You saw what happened with Returnal, and it buckled, let's say, right? And speaking of which, we were talking about Ratchet and Clank and Returnal. I've seen more of Returnal video than Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is a more recent game. You think you'd see more video of that, in time, but that's just that. But it just goes to show this year is a wrap for you, Sony. Don't even bother putting that game out this year unless you really had it ready for this year. Put it out next year. If you really have to delay for whatever, if it needs more time in the oven, do that, because this year is already done for you. Don't do that. I mean, it's been a clusterfuck for PS5 since the day it came out, right? When Twitter was ablaze with all types of videos with, systems glitching out. You still can't use the rest mode. It's only now they're using you as crash test dummies to test that slot out. The whole situation is bad. This game can't save it. So don't bother trying. Don't rush one of your top franchises. And it's only now you can call a franchise. I hate when a sequel to something comes out, now you want to call it a franchise, and the and the second one isn't even out yet, and you call it a franchise. Right. It's not a franchise till that second one is at least out. You know, and it's already done well enough to say that there's going to be more of. So I think, it bears repeating, hold back. It's clear you need to delay that game anyway, and it's going to be cross-platform. I'm pretty sure it'll be on PC soon thereafter. But it's not enough to save you from the losses of this year. Don't rush it if it needs that more time. If naturally it could have been out this year and all the rumors are saying that it's going to be delayed, then delay it. Don't do it. Otherwise, it's not going to do nothing for you, and you just have wasted a AAA that you could add, a feather in your cap for. So just say that for next year, and that's what I think they should do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I totally agree. Also, I seen somebody ask like the last game for Halo that sold over 5 million. I mean, the last game that sold over 5 million on the Xbox was Halo 5, and basically, I'm like, man, didn't Forza? Listen, and hold on, wait a minute. State of Decay was at 3 million. So when just in that first year, so I don't know. I would say State of Decay say hold my beer.
Is over 20 million players.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves is over 10 million. Forza,
no, 20 million. It's over 20 million. I thought it was, or was it 10?
Well, they say players, so I just know that they've sold over 10 million. I mean, just you got easily, yeah. And then Forza, that sold over 10 million. I think that was I don't know, like 12, 13. I don't know, somewhere around there. But anyway, regardless, I don't.
Just goes to show that sold doesn't even matter anyway. That was the whole point of the thing of the last topic.
Right. So, gotta stop thinking like Barney Rubble and get out of bedrock, man. It's a different world now. Gaming is changing and it's evolving. And it's like I said, like, look, you're gonna have to hop on a train or you're just gonna get left behind. It's just that simple. And so, you might just come out there because listen, if you see people like Noof that's been staunch and saying Game Pass, no Game Pass this, no Game Pass that. Next thing you know, it's gonna get you one way or the other. There's gonna be that one game that's gonna be like, you know what, this is bull, this is BS. How is it? All right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and cop this. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't know. That's how they get you. But anyway, all right, guys, man, thank you so much, man. Give me until Monday. I said I'm gonna try to work on this Sunday so I can go ahead and put all this content together, make it into one thing. And then of course I'm gonna send all this out to Spotify and to iHeartRadio and all this other stuff. And of course, I got 3 Devin the Gamers I gotta send out and stuff. So I'll probably get all this stuff done Monday. But for you guys, for right now, man, thank you guys for watching. This both from last night and today will be up, and we about to get the hell out of here. So Slick Slayer, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Slick Slayer, no C. I'm trying to get to above 500 subs. I'm pretty close, man. I try to tweet knowledge and information. It's not just what I think about stuff. And yeah, I put some stuff, pro Xbox and stuff, and I'll retweet a lot of stuff that people say. But I try to say positive things too. I try to drop knowledge. In the middle of the Steam Deck situation, I was doing a lot of active research into these SSD replacements and how viable that would be. And if you followed those tweets I was putting out about that Dell drive before anybody really knew what was going on, I was doing a lot of research. And then at the very end of it, there was somebody who did a great write-up in video, and I posted that too. So if you're trying to learn and understand, this gaming industry, I'm always tweeting and retweeting information, that will expand your horizons and your knowledge in this game industry if you care about that. And just about, about news and other things that happens in the gaming world. So come and follow me on Twitter and, of course, on every great game platform that exists, except for Nintendo. Not this generation anyway. They've done me wrong. I'm done with them for this generation. But everything else, you'll find me there. Oh, and mine is Stadia too. Although I have an account, I don't rock Stadia. You'll find me on GeForce Now. You'll find me on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network. You'll find me everywhere. Come check me out.
All right. And last but
of course, at the very end, in the next hour and a half, you'll find me on the Dragon's Den, of course, right here every Friday on GRGA. How could I not make it?
Yeah, and the disrespect is real. You know what I'm saying? Lemon coming here talking about, oh, I had some kind of karate class to go to. Why you just can't say that you just missed it or you had some other thing to do? You got to show me some pictures of your big ass doing something with them big ass corns on your feet. But I think he said somebody else he did something about karate. I don't know. I just saw him post. It's like, oh, my bad. And then I saw something about karate. Hold on, let me look. I don't know. Let me
his
see.
Nephew his godson does practice karate.
Yeah. So he said something like that. So yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking his big ass is saying, "Hiya, Brooklyn." Anyway.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. So GRG is going to be on hiatus for a couple of weeks. We're taking a break. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, because of some of the things that needs to, I guess I see now with this Windows 11, I need to know if I got to work on other stuff. It worked fine right now. This is great. But also other things, other moves that I need to try to make, because I'm working on trying to get another podcast up and running here in the near future. So going to take a break. So GRG won't be back for a couple of weeks, but we will definitely be back. Do not think that we are gone, because no, I love doing this too much. It's embedded in my DNA. So hopefully, guys, when we come back, you will definitely welcome us back with open arms. Also, Fight Night Sundays, that ain't going no damn where, because I gotta play my fighters, man. I gotta jump in. So come and check us out tomorrow night, 9:30ish, Sunday night. Check me out on Twitch, at KMEGA 405. That's where Fight Night resides now. Also, I was asked to be on a Weapon Wheel tomorrow night, so I will be on Weapon Wheel. So come and check me out over there with those guys over there. So yeah, it's cool to get the invite. So appreciate BG hitting me up. And so, man, other than that, man, going to be streaming on Twitch, and then I'll be on next podcast this coming up week, but I will not be on next podcast the week after, because like I said, I'm gonna take a break, spend some time with the wife, you know what I'm saying, you know that we do it, you know what I'm saying, shit, you know what I'm saying, because I got to give her thanks for me doing all this crazy shit, and she just goes with the flow, you know what I'm saying, so I got to, spend some time, do that, and yeah, Halo until Monday, so yeah, probably I won't have none of this shit done until Monday, but anyway. See you guys later, man. Thank you. We are out of here. Oh, I need to find my buttons. Yeah, so because I'm over here thinking this is yeah, let's get out of here. We out. Peace.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.